the energy in the Xylemcia forest. So in the Land of Ardithian, there's a city called Elbon, but there's also this magical forest, the Xylemcia forest. And it's where a lot of the creatures and characters and entities live. But it's also the home of King Mentorton. He is the forest king. So initially in the story, Arlen and a boy named Mentorton are held up, and through a lot of nefariousness, they end up captive for a good bit of time. And they decide to create the Land of Ardithian based on the different things that they each love, are fascinated by, and find captivating in their own minds and in their own imaginations. The Xylemcia forest is very much part of what Mentorton loves. He is a boy who has been raised on an island with a lighthouse. He was given a book, Robinson Crusoe, and then also Treasure Island. So he loves reading and using his imagination for place, but he's also had a really challenging young life of more hard work than he should at his age. When the story begins, he's 13 and he has experienced a good bit of trauma, and just learning to live on a lighthouse island, kind of secluded away. But he has lived through books. And then when he meets Arlen, she has this fantastical imaginary sense of what the world looks like in her head, and is a natural storyteller. She loves painting with words as much as she does pigment. So the Xylemcia forest is kind of King Mentorton's realm. In the Land of Ardithian, he chose to become King Mentorton of the forest because that is where his heart longs to be. He really dreams of the day that he can spend time in the woods, around trees and the critters and the animals. The energy of this place was very much organic. It had to have flow, but also that green glow of energy that comes through the xylem and phloem cells of the actual trees and plants. That was a big part of this energy. It wasn't about painting trees or a forest. It was about capturing the life source in a way that had strong contrast between lights and darks. There was also a difference between the energy in the forest during the day versus at night. I could have done two paintings. I could have done one. This is more of a daylight version, but the nighttime version would have a whole lot of energy that glows in the dark, in that firefly type of illumination within the trees, within the leaves, from the grounds and the cracks of things. It was a joy painting this because personally for us, we have a property called Dulcinea, and I know that that is where my husband's heart is. So as I worked on this piece, I completely thought about what type of energy does Dulcinea offer us, our 42 acres. And it is steadfast, it is stable, it is strong, but it's also very interconnected in the flow and ebb of the life cycles. And that was a visual challenge to figure out. But I love how it turned out. It is one of my favorite pieces, simply because of the sentiment, I do believe, and how important that space is to us in our own lives, and how important this energy is going to be in the entire story, because it's an integral part of what eventually happens to King Mentorton and Arlie of Ardithian with rainbow colored eyes.